Phillipe has been a director of life insurance's ASR since the 1st of March 2014, which was only 31 days ago. That's a top 3 in the European insurance market. And he was employed, and he was given this major job out of being the CEO of the Ardanta Group, and it's a smaller company. It's got 100 people, but it's a division within the ASR. So clearly, whatever you did there is working particularly well. So his challenge moving into this new role is around to make it more flexible, to find a solution for the complex IT landscape. There'll be a number of companies, having read the AFR recently, that might be able to take advantage of that, and revitalise the commercial opportunities. Phillipe is highly experienced in customer-focused change programs within the global insurance industry, but he did have an earlier career in finance, resources and agricultural commodities in Asia and Europe. And as I said to us, he's speaking to us from a culture where flexibility is the norm. He's Dutch, he comes from the Netherlands, and family is very much at the forefront. And it's about his experiences and beliefs that as a leader, the biggest thing you need to learn is to let go, to enable innovation to flow in order to become an enabler for flexible working. So I'm just going to let Phillipe take it away before we move on to the next speaker. Phillipe.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, so what to say in 7 or 10 minutes? I've heard so much about flexible working, and sometimes I wonder, I hear so much about working at home, and it's so normal in the Netherlands almost, in my company, to work at home. And yet when I went to Ardanta, nobody was working at home. Everybody was working in the office. So I came into the office, and the company was, I was sharing the story yesterday. I think Jacobina asked me, so what was the company like? And I said, it felt like when I came in and as a CEO, like we put a hand grenade on the table, somebody pulled a pin, and it was like, okay, you know, when is it going to explode? And I was talking to Nikki about the insurance industry, and in insurance industries, especially if you're in life insurance, you can get a very, very long time without changing anything. Because life insurance, it goes on and on and on, and especially if people getting older and older, and especially I was responsible for funeral insurance. It's a big thing. We have 70% of the Dutch have a funeral insurance. So it's a huge, and we have around, and Ardanta has a market share of 35%. So the older people get, the longer they pay premiums. So your business model almost seems never to go out of business. But the problem is, of course, it does, because the markets are changing so rapidly, consumer behaviors are changing so rapidly, and we often forget that our employees are consumers as well, and our people as well. So the society is in your company. So when I entered there, it was like, okay, I think we need to change some stuff, because we're not absolutely not flexible enough, and we're not talking about working from home. So when I talk to the CEO of ASR and other CEOs of other companies, I often ask them, so what do you find is your biggest challenge when you look at your company and your employees? And they say, well, one of the things I can't understand is people book their own holidays, close a mortgage, make decisions to marry, book holidays and take children. And once they enter this building, they go through a brainwash and they become brain dead. They absolutely don't know what to do anymore, and they were like, why don't these people do what I want them to do? And this is exactly the challenge I had when I came into Ardanta, a very hierarchical company, and they all looked at me. And the whole system was geared to looking at me and asking for directions. And of course, when I came in, I thought, well, this is my job. I've never been a CEO of a company. So I was thinking very hard, and I was giving directions, and almost 100% of all the issues were run by me. And I mean, from a major crisis to an investment of a bill of €300, it was all run by me. And I was, getting along and, telling my friends, I have a great job, and I'm controlling it all. And that's why I'm paid so much. Well, was never paid enough, by the way. But, and it was after a while I thought, and we talk all about leadership and role modeling and etc. Blah blah blah. But I thought, okay, something needs to change. What kind of a system did I create, or did we create, or do we sustain, that we treat people like idiots? Did we treat our customers? And again, I was sharing, and Nikki was sharing it with me as well. I have this, this phrase: tell me how you treat your customers, and I will tell you how you treat your employees. And what you do from the inside is exactly what you will be portraying on the outside. And I'm not telling you anything new, right? You all know this already. So for example, in Ardanta, if you're selling life insurance and funeral insurance, the best thing to do, and you probably all know that, is to act upon emotions. And the best way to sell 70% of the Dutch funeral insurance is to make them very, very scared. So this is how a typical sales pitch would go. You are going to die. A funeral is very expensive. Please sign this insurance policy and you will be rid of all your fears. That's how you sell a funeral insurance. So everybody, anybody in the room, it will go exactly the way in Australia, New Zealand, anywhere in the world. But the less funny part of it is that exactly the same fear will be in the company. It's exactly the same. So what you put into the company is exactly what you will get to your customers. And I thought, no more. And I first started with myself. So I thought with myself, what are my qualities? And I always thought that my biggest quality was being a very smart guy. That got me there. I was a consultant, did large change programs, and I thought that my biggest contribution to the team would be being very smart and thinking about all these things. And what I didn't realize is that I wasn't using all the qualities I would be using in the company. So I saw all this, and I thought, okay, first I got to figure out and think of what my best quality was. And that was my first mistake. So I didn't know what was going on in my body and my intuition, what would be the best thing for me to do. So that's where I met Jane. Jane is from Australia, from Presence at Work, and actually Maggie is working for the same company.
All ex-IBM.
All ex-IBM, and Rolien, who's based in the Netherlands. And I met them, and Ardanta was already starting on this leadership program, and I actually found out through body-based, and you probably guys all know MBTI and all these kind of stuff. And the problem with it is that if you're anything like me, but probably maybe it's a male thing, you probably want to score better than what you are. And what I found out through this program, to this body-based program, and it's a collective leadership program, is that actually your body already tells you what you are, and you can't fake it, because it's in your body, and you don't have to think about it, because your body already knows what your head still doesn't understand. So to cut a long story short, I found out that I'm much more of a heart person. I really feel and I have an intuition of the energy in the room or with people and where the company is heading. And that's what I used in my team. So we started out on this journey together with my management team. And I started to value a lot more the qualities in all. So when there is a time when there's change needed, I would step forward, not because I'm the CEO, but because I'm very good at it. I sense where the direction is going, and I have the power to inspire people. But once things need to get done and implemented, and looking at the details or talking about risk, I get very bored and I step back, and someone else in my leadership team would go forward. And lastly, what we then did is I truly believed that if we have a very strong vision and a result, be unattached to anything else. Be unattached. So if you tell the employees what the results that you want, people will figure out anything. So, for example, your question about and how do you organize it in a small company? How do you organize operational teams? How do you organize? Don't think about it too much. People will know how to do it. Once they get the results, and once you are very clear on where you're going, people will figure it out.